Hello, people. We are live across everything now, so welcome back with another demo drop. Send me your demos. I wasn't streaming last week, which means this week I have a huge list of demos to get through. So, yeah, see you soon. Hey, what's up, everybody? I was just trying to set up my automatic replies, but it doesn't seem to be working. Anyway, regardless, welcome back. Yeah, I was away last week. I wasn't feeling great last week, so this week I've got a lot of demos to get through. So we're going to start off with A Moment Away from the very talented Wilson Serrano.
Eigentlich
Let's have
müsste ich
a listen
sparen, aber
after this
Qualität hat ihren...
ad. Really nice, Wilson. This is a really good start. One thing I'll suggest with this track is keep the emotion you have there. So you have that lead sound where it sounds like you're automating. It's probably the delay. It sounds like you're automating the delay, so you sort of open it up and the sound gets wider and stronger. And then when you pull it back, the sound gets thinner and more gentle. That's really good. Don't lose the delicacy of that in this track. Overall, it's good start. The melody, as always, you produce great melodies. Yeah, I like it. Can't really think of anything else to add at this point. Good break. The intro was different to what you normally create, which is good. You're exploring new things. And yeah, I didn't really hear anything too incorrect with the track at all. So good start. This is another Wilson Serrano project we will witness throughout the weeks grow and grow and grow. Okay, Bandit, right, let's have a listen. Got a feeling this is going to be like Future House or something. For me, the snare is not sitting right at the moment. The snare sounds too cheesy. Nice. This track has a lot of potential. Just now some mixing techniques. So definitely in this area. So in this section of the track, this is sort of like a short bridge after the sort of drop, let's say. Definitely add a filter on that bass line. The bass line is sort of very consistent throughout the track, and I don't mean in terms of its pattern, I mean in terms of its sound design. So it's constantly creating the same sound. So start modifying, warping, evolving that sound a little bit more, and you can just easily throw a filter on it and just slowly automate the filter down so that it creates a new sort of texture, a new three-dimensionality to your track. Yeah, this track's good. It has potential. The one thing that is bringing the track down a little bit in terms of its quality is definitely the drum samples you've used. So the snare was the first thing I wasn't happy with. Even now, the hi-hats sound really thin and really sort of weak. So I recommend go online, find some drum sample packs. There's heaps out there that are free. Download some sample packs, my friend, and this track will improve massively with some better samples for the percussion track especially. But really nice work, my friend. Hope you guys are well. I am pushing today a pre-save link. So I have a collab with Addy Musics and myself. It's dropping, I don't know when it's dropping. March 11, I think. So I have about a month to promo it. So if you, I'm basically going to talk about it after every track. So hopefully when people watch this back on YouTube, they go pre-save the track. So, right, good track, man. It's got potential. Go pre-save my track. It's in the comments. If you're watching it back, it'll be below. Yeah, neat track. Good energy overall. All right, Diane Abanash at my worst. Princess Jenna cover. Diane Abanash demo remix. Let's have a listen. Yes, it is, Felix. It is. It's called Summer Voices, my friend.
Can I call you baby? Can you be my friend? Can you be my lover up until the very end? Let me show you love, boy, don't pretend. Stay by my side even when the world is coming in. Oh, don't you worry, I'll be there whenever you want me. I need somebody who can love me at my worst. No, I'm not perfect, but I hope you see my worth. 'Cause it's only you, nobody knew I put you first. And for you, girl, I swear I'll do the work. I need somebody can love me, body can love know that body can love me, body can love. I need somebody can love me, body can love me, body can love. Don't you worry, I'll be there whenever you want me. I need somebody who can love me at my worst. No, I'm not perfect, but I hope you see my worth. 'Cause it's only you, nobody knew I put you first. And for you, girl, I swear I'll do the work. I need somebody to love me, body can love, body, that body can love, body, love me, body can love, I need somebody to love, body, love me, body can love, body, body can love, body, love me, body can love, I need somebody who can love me at my worst. No, I'm not perfect, but I hope you see my worth. 'Cause it's only you, nobody knew I put you first. And for you, girl, I swear I'll do the work.
Really nice track. Sounded nice and full. Nothing seemed out of place in terms of sound design and also in terms of like the song structure. I mean, it was a little bit like the overall mood of the track is very chill, which is, I guess, your intention with this one. So really nicely done. I mean, what it sounds like is you've already had the vocal. I'm not familiar with the original track, so I'm not sure if you created all the vocal chops in the drop. If you did, right, it's really nice, okay? I would definitely give that vocal chop in the drop, so I'm talking about this section here.
I need somebody to love, body, love me, body can love, body, that body can love, body, love.
So what's happening is you have this vocal chop where it's going like body, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, dee, right? If you chopped them up, like literally sent them to different channels, and then you could have some of those chops panned slightly left, some panned slightly right. It gives a lot more stereo field on the vocal track, and it's something that's way more exciting for the listener as well. So just a really small technique will take this up to the next level. Also, with those vocal chops, make them a little bit more dreamy. So at the moment, they're quite loud and I would say like raw, meaning like unaffected. So definitely throw some reverb on it. Give it like 1 or 2 seconds worth of reverb so that it becomes really dreamy with the vocal chops. And also that will naturally bring it down a little bit in terms of volume. It was a little bit too loud for my personal preference, but overall really solid remix, my friend. Really good. Guys, this stream is very high quality this evening. Kazillo, I think, my friend, you have deleted your track. So if you are on the stream, please send it in again and I'll slot you back in the line. All right, we are Mad Boys. We made it. Spin and talent pool. Let's have a listen.
I never knew what heaven was. This gilded love has opened up my eyes. I finally felt I was enough. When things get rough, I promise that no matter how far we've gone, no matter, I'd leave my heart in the palm of your hands. I promise that no matter how tried you said I'll always do it again. It's crazy, but we made it. We made it.
Guys, really good. Bassline, super tight, sounding really good. Also, guys, this is like, for everyone tuned in, this is like the perfect sound for radio at the moment. So we are Mad Boys. I don't know if you guys have been following their socials. They actually won so they submitted a song to the Euro Cup for the European handball competition or something like that, and they won, right? So every time a team scored a goal, their song was played on TV and in the stadium after a goal happens. So that is really cool. Massive achievement. They even got to DJ there for the grand final alongside Blaster Jacks. So like massive congrats to We Are Mad Boys. You guys are awesome. And awesome track so far. Really good. Good that you also have a Spinnin' Records style artwork. It also adds to the coolness of this demo. Really nice, guys. Definitely a good song to release after your success with the Euro Cup handball stuff. Really good track. Super poppy, super radio sound. The only thing, I mean, the melody's catchy. It reminds me sort of like an Ali Farben track. So like if Ali Farben met like Felix Jaehn, that sort of style, and that is like so marketable right now. So I really, guys, I recommend be patient with Talent Pool. I don't think it'll get picked up there because it's basically impossible unless you have like a music lawyer that knows someone inside Spinnin' to get it on there. But wow, really nice. Yeah, the only thing I can recommend is like the master. So it lacks a little bit in terms of punch, volume, commercial loudness, if that makes sense. But guys, really solid track. That will be good. That'll be a good one. All right, Flight Take Charge, guys. We have a new submission, so let's have a listen. We don't have any specific track. Oh, here we do. Yeah, we got Wanna Know. Let's have a listen. So that kick is definitely clipping. So bring that clip away.
And go, hey, just go, hey.
Nice track, catchy melody, catchy sort of vocal repetition. One thing I'll suggest for future tracks is sort of play around with the sounds you create. So you have these good sounds happening at good times in the track, but don't just keep them consistent. You can add some effects onto those sounds where those sounds slowly twist as the tracks continue, and that keeps the listener excited and interested. And this is an important step going from, for example, like people who make beats, they just make beats. They just like keep loops in and then bring another loop in and then loop out, loop in, loop out. And the track is sort of like made up of blocks. You just take blocks away. But the skill and the art of music production these days is, instead of having blocks that sort of just like fall into the next track, fall into the next sort of section of the song, is like you're smoothing out the blocks and it turns into like a flow. And how that's achieved is via automation. I think, yeah, if you learnt the skill of automation and how to, automate some effects and some parameters of your tracks, I think that it will really help you evolve your sound. But I dig the track. It had its own unique energy. If you were to send this to a record label, for example, they would say that it's unmastered and it lacks sort of punch and energy. So if you want to improve for your future tracks, just watch some tutorials on how to master. So find a good, like, search on YouTube Mastering Chain 2022 Ableton or Logic or FL Studio, whatever you use, and basically learn how to add a master chain onto your tracks. And what that will do is that will boost your sound, that'll boost your saturation, that'll boost your width, that'll boost your overall output, which makes the sort of the sound more attractive for record labels, more signable, and it also, yeah, just brings your production quality up to like the radio standards. So cool. Welcome as well, my friend. I see you're a new submitter, so hello. I gave you a follow as well. Good to see your profile is in order too, so it's good reading about artists when they appear. You also have all your socials linked here as well, which is very good. So many people forget this and it's unbelievable. So really nice job, my friend. Feel free to join our Discord community as well. There is, I do have a link somewhere. Something's not working, but if you're watching this back on YouTube, Flight Take Care, please click on the link tree below. And there's a button to join the Discord community. That is where we all hang out after these streams. We talk music production, we share music production tips, etc. And we all grow as one. So, yeah. All right, let's have a listen to One Step at a Time, Ninja Siren. Here we go. Again, another really quiet track. Thank you, Wilson, my friend. I saw that. You bloody legend. Nice track. I'm going to skip through it a little bit because it's 6 minutes long, yeah? So apologies for that. But we have a lot of similarities in between the track. The drops sound all the same. It's good to hear you have some new percussion integrated. So it creates like a bit of a tribal feel. Yeah, overall, so I'll tell you something, Mr. Ninja Siren, right? So nice track. It sounds like you've been producing for a little while, which is good. Also, your SoundCloud shows me that you've been producing for several years. You have a good skill for melody, okay? So your melody is very nice, very friendly, very summery, very happy, very positive. And all the chords you have are quite strong. They all fit together. They're all in key. And that is such an important step and skill to have, okay? So you have that skill. And this is a skill that takes many, many years for people to discover. So well done with that. One skill I recommend you sort of develop is your sound design skills. So you need to explore a little bit more which sounds you're using in your tracks, because what it sounds like is you've sort of picked some sounds that work and you've gone with it. And I'm guilty of that too. I think everyone's guilty of that, especially in our earlier productions. But as you improve and progress through your music career, you will sit there and listen and think to yourself, does this sound, for example, that the sound of your lead, does it sound too basic or too thin or too small or too too default? So like a lot of people just drag a default piano or a default trumpet or something and they don't bother to shape that sound. I highly recommend you start exploring shaping your own sound, and that's sort of sound design, if that makes sense. So really nice. Yeah, keep making music. That's all I can recommend. Keep making music. We improve with each and every track. Speaking of each and every track, thank you, Wilson, for pre-saving my upcoming release with Addy Musics. It's a really cool track called Summer Voices, so I hope you will like that. Link is in the comments above and also below if you're watching it back on YouTube. All right, Wilson, my friend, thank you so much for the donation. Guys, if you're not aware, you can see scrolling above here, it says skip the line. So if you want to skip the line and you want to have your demo heard now, you can see here on the left-hand side here how many demos I still have to get through. So if you are impatient and you want to have your demo heard now because you're about to go to bed or go to dinner or go back to work, donate and then I'll listen to it immediately. Wilson, Sunrise, Dreamers Mix. Let's have a listen. really nice. I was focusing on the bass line, so I was listening to it. It sounds like your bass progression on the last note of your bass progression, so like the eighth note. I feel like it it lands back on the root note too early. I feel like your bass line should go dun dun, and then on the last note it should go like dun dun, and then back to your root note dun. Bum, bum, bum. But man, you write such complex melodies, and it always sits well. Always. And this is just a really tiny thing I'm picking up on. Doesn't sound correct to my ears. Similar to how good, you know what I mean? It was similar to with our track with Digital Dreams, how you said that's good, but the bass line is not correct here. And I couldn't hear it yet until I changed it. And then I was like, now it's perfect. So I hope that helps. Sorry, I'm just gonna get back. The reason I flicked back there, Wilson, was because this new melody you've introduced, I know it's sort of like your outro, but it's feels like it's a different energy now. It sounds like your note placement is a little too basic. Dun 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 dun. Whereas here it has a lot more sort of skip to it. So you can sort of strip away the notes, but I would definitely keep some sort of swing in terms of where you place things on your piano roll. It could be like dun 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 dun, something like that, instead of like dun 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 dun. Just a suggestion. Nice. I really like the I guess you would say the overall richness of the song. So the your sound, right? Although it sounds like there's not many elements in there, right? You have kick, percussion, bass line, your main sort of melody, and also the chords, right? But just with those few elements, you have such a strong sound, right? It's actually like phenomenal how rich you get your track sounding. So yeah, man, as I said, the only thing that stood out for me a little bit, it felt a bit disconnected from the rest of the track in terms of energy, was this section here. But again, like, this is the good thing about music, ladies and gentlemen, is that music is subjective. So my opinion, although you guys respect my opinion, it's not always correct. So for example, Wilson, you could love this note placement and that's your thing and you're not changing it. That's perfectly fine. Whole purpose of this demo drop is to give you guys ideas that perhaps you haven't thought about. So Wilson, nice track, my friend, as always. Yes, his track is vibing, as always. Yeah. Anyway, Wilson, thank you for the donation, my friend. I hope you are well. Denmark, hey? I think Am I correct, Wilson, in saying that Denmark is now opened and ready for business? Is that correct? Oh no, file deleted. Christopher Tapia, what are you doing, my son? Okay. Sorry, Wilson, but you are sadly gone. Sorry, Christopher is gone. I loved your review. We'll work on it a bit more. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Maybe was this sent in new? Anyway, let's check it out. Okay. No, that was sent 20 days ago. Okay, so that's already done. Critison, Droppy Project. Let's have a listen. Critison, my bro, bringing the fire. Man, really good, actually. For those of you who are not familiar, we have like many sort of new people in these streams each week. Critison is a producer who, I'm going to be honest, bro, started off very, very poor in terms of music production skills. But bro, seeing your journey, especially in the last 6 months, has been insane. You have improved massively, massively. You should be very, very proud. Yeah. Really good job, Critison. Bro, your songs are now sounding like songs. I remember I used to give you common feedback about how your songs used to sound like blocks just sort of dumped together, but now you have really good flow in your tracks, much, much better than what you were sending me. like a year ago. So really nice work. You should be very proud. I just wrote in the comments, you have a lot of opportunity and space in terms of frequency to push a stronger bass line through there. So feel free to pump up those bass lines a bit, brother. I think I did a YouTube tutorial. I think it's called either Bassline for Beginners or How to Mix a Sick Bassline or something like that. Go watch that tutorial and see. Maybe it's about 10 minutes long, but you might pick up one or two techniques that can help you achieve that sound. So, man, really good. And Ravenex is giving some feedback as well in the chat. If you put bass plus chords plus vocoder equals color bass, what about color bass? Yeah. Could be an interesting development or evolution of sound. All right, Vikash Morman, Raindrops. Let's have a listen. We're due for a SoundCloud ad soon. I'm going to guess it's like the next song. Definitely an interesting track so far. There's a few different things happening, right? So your lead sound, I hear like a heap of reverb and some slight like distortion on it. So it sounds like it's a bit of a trance lead or like a drum and bass style lead. But applying it to this sort of beat, this is sort of like a 112 to 115 BPM track. I feel like it deserves some different sound design, but let's see how the track evolves. Maybe as I listen more, it will fit better. But that was just my initial thought, was that the lead sound doesn't fit the track at the moment, but I could be wrong. Yeah, a bit of a breakdown in this track would be good. I agree. I also think similar to some of the earlier tracks I reviewed, you should definitely add some automation to your lead sound, especially so that the sound slowly changes throughout the track. It's very sort of consistent throughout the whole track, the sound of your lead. So consider automating some parameters. So it can be something as simple as like pulling the reverb back and slowly automating it out to like 3, 4, 5 seconds long. Same with delays, same with compression, not compression, not compression, what am I talking about? Like, I always, a very underutilized tool is overdrive, right? You can add overdrive to a lead and it sounds super gritty, super aggressive by just drag and drop, right? The default parameters on every DAW gives it naturally some aggression. But if you just adjust the wet dry knob back down to 0 and you automate that knob to slowly come up, what happens is over the course of 8 bars, 16 bars, 32 bars, 64 bars, whatever, if you just automate that knob to slowly open up and slowly go back, you suddenly have this sound that's all like light and happy, and then it just slowly turns aggressive or quickly turns aggressive, however you automate that parameter. It's such an underutilized tool. I feel like people should be using it more, overdrive. It does get very difficult to mix overdrive into a track in terms of EQ, because sometimes it pushes into the red too hard and it creates clipping in other areas. But if done correctly, it's a really cool technique. I use it in most of my tracks actually to get really unique sounds. Overall, Vikash, how do I say this? I like the idea of the track. I just don't like the sounds you have used in it. So that's a fair statement. That's all I can say at the moment, my friend. The idea is good, the melody is good, but for me, for my personal preferences, the sounds don't match the track. Okay, no problem at all. It's not a big deal. All right, let's have a listen to Bismucky We Found Love featuring Tin. It's a rough mix, okay, guys? So let's be gentle. Here we go.
Every day's a struggle, your world's falling apart, and you don't feel like going on, cause it shouldn't be this hard. Baby, take my hand and don't let go. I know you feel like falling, cause I was also breaking down. We spent so much time searching for a reason to stay. So when the sun starts going down, I'm by your side. When the shadows creeping, I will be your light all the way. And when our tears dry, we'll rise above, because we found love. Yeah, we found love.
Wow, man. Really, really nice track. Sound design was insane, like really good. I felt like the track sort of it had two modes, let's say, where you sort of had your bridges and your verses. It sounded like I felt like I was sitting in a small bar watching a band play live on stage. You could picture the piano, the guitar, the singer, and the drummer. And then when it shifted to the sort of drop where it's more like electronic sounds, I imagine that I was at like either a Martin Garrix concert or like a Chainsmokers sort of concert. Like the vibe that you created was really cool and like such good emotion, especially with the sound design. That sort of that lead sound that I don't know what it is. It sounds like a violin or something. Um, I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it works. Um, what I'll recommend is always remember to keep the vocal like on top of the track in terms of the mix. You want the vocal to be a star. You want the vocal to be the star of the track, especially when there's vocals in a track. So to do that, make sure when you like master this track, so you need to, this track is at basically a finished state. Now you need to now mix it louder, so you can either send it off to mastering where they sort of boost all the frequencies to make it sort of commercial grade sound. And always remember to keep that vocal on top. There are some sections, where was it? So in these examples where he says we found love, it's sort of the vocal is, I would say, it's fighting not massively but a little bit. This is just a very specific thing I'm trying to recommend to you because the overall track is very strong, very, very good. You could basically master this and release it, but I'm trying to find some little tiny things to improve on to then get it released. So what it sounds like the vocal is fighting for space where the lead sound is coming in, that whatever it is, the violin or vocalin, you know. So you could boost the vocal a little bit higher, give it a small bump in EQ, and then go into your lead sound, your violin or whatever it is, and do a small dip in EQ in the same frequency range where you gave the vocal a bump. Give the EQ a small dip, and then they will both have their own space in the mix. Really nice track, man. Really, really good sound. Yeah. Excited to hear where that one goes. I didn't save that off to the side. Okay, let's continue. We have David XUX. Let's have a listen to ID. Boom. Good strong kick to start. No worries, my friend. Something's not sounding in key already. So your brass stabs, your kick, and your snare are all sort of pitched to, like, for example, C, let's say. And then when your track actually starts, it's sort of down in like A. So you need to sort of pitch your drums to the key of the track.
They stimulate
tell you what, the drop is good. It's just it's pitched too high for the rest of the track. So it might take some time, but if you pitch everything down, so not physically pitching it down, but going into piano roll and finding the notes that relate to the rest of the track, this track will be sounding very good. I've just my ears are detecting a slight disconnect between like the intro and the sort of when the lead sound's introduced, and then another disconnect between the vocal and the drop. So it's just in terms of key. So nothing too massive at the moment. It can be changed, but overall the idea so far is very, very good. Yeah, nice. I like it overall. I think what I mean by the tuning, David, is you have a kick that's sort of going like dum 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 dum, but the rest of your track is at like Dan, like it's in a different sort of pitch. I'm just reading the comments here. It's a brass tune to C, and then you put it in a piano roll. Yeah. Yeah. So you need to make sure you know what the root note of your brass sample is. So for example, if your brass stab is like an A and you drag it onto the C, then it's automatically shifted up 2 semitones. I always recommend dragging on, what is it? In Ableton, for my samples, I always drag on the tool that's called Spectrum. And what that does is it shows you the sample where it's sort of bouncing in terms of frequency. And then you can slide along and see what key everything's in. I don't know, man. It's for my ears, it sounded a bit wacky in parts, but that's also a cool thing. I was speaking to one of my co-workers at Lifted about songs and what makes a song good, right? And what makes a song good is if it is memorable and sort of repeatable. So if a girl was at a party and was like, oh gosh, girls, have you heard the new like David XUX track? And they'll be like, oh no, how does it go? And then they'll be like bum 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 bum, and then if it's a very memorable melody and very consistent, very easy for them to reproduce, it's more likely for people to like it. Okay, that's one side of the argument and one side of the sort of, I guess, music listener group. But then there's the other side of the listener group that loves the weird, wacky, and wonderful stuff. I love that this has some detunement elements where you sort of pitch things down, bum, 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 like that. I find it really cool when it's weird and distorted. What we need to weigh up as music producers is where you want to position this track in terms of how you want to release it. Do you want it to appeal to the majority, which is the sort of the girls that listen to the radio and they go, oh, I love that song, that Avicii song that goes like this, and they know exactly how to do the melody. I feel like this track appeals more to the smaller side of the community that loves the weird, wacky, and wonderful. And that's not a bad thing. Like, many artists have huge followings in like the underground scene and actually never get on the radio. So I'm a little bit like torn between this one. I don't know what to say or what to suggest to improve it. It's like it's wacky in its own unique way. So I mean, yeah, let me I feel bad about this one. I want to go back to the intro. I'll dun 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 dun. So your kick is happening, dun dun dun. And you also have the brass stab happening at dun as well. Dun, dun. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dun, 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 dun. So then okay. I know what's happening now. Many people tune their kicks. Everyone should tune their kicks if you have a tonal kick. David, I think I've worked out what it is. I think the progression you use on your piano roll, I think it's not in the same scale. That could be what it is. So, like there's scales like da na 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 na, and then you can shift to like a minor scale, and it's more like da na 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 na. And there's some notes in between that you don't hit because they're out of key, or they're not in the same key to the progression that you have. What it sounds like is you've integrated some notes on the piano roll that aren't in the same key as the root note of the track. So for my ears, it didn't sound correct initially until the rest of the track played, and then I understood, okay, this track is deliberately built in this way, so therefore I understand the track. So I hope that makes sense. Maybe that gave more confusion, but yeah, overall, man, the track has good bounce, good swing. I like the percussion you'd used in the track, and I'm always very particular with percussion, but that sounded pretty good, man. Hope that helps. All right, Super Mario is stronger than ever. We have a new submitter, so welcome, my friend. Let's click through your profile and see what you are all about. Let's also check out Super Mario is stronger than ever.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
So it's a random person with no information, but let's have a listen now.
Playing my game.
There's definitely more space to do cool stuff in this track. Good luck licensing this track. Let's go. Mario's the winner. Love the idea of the track. I love the minimalist sort of approach to this track. It's definitely not future house like you've tagged it here. What I like is the fact that you're...
Playing my game.
Let me just let it finish.
Thank you so much for playing my game.
Oh. Yeah, I like it. I like how the sound design has a very sort of 8-bit vibe to it. So it sort of sounds like glitchy and very digital to sort of match the Mario theme that you have there. Cool idea. You definitely need to work on your sort of your sound output. So you need to think when someone puts this onto their iPhone and listens to it on the train, it's really quiet compared to the rest of the songs on their iPhone, and that is due to your master output. So you need to make sure that you are mixing your track to correct volumes and things like that. And yeah, you want to make it loud enough that people can hear what's going on, but not too loud that the sound starts to distort. So that's called clipping. So if you make something too loud, it will basically, if this box is 100% volume, if you mix it too loud, what happens is your sound goes like this, and then the sound doesn't go beyond that point. What happens is it starts to digitally crush. So it basically hits this invisible roof and it starts to do this. And what happens when you've created a sound that's meant to sound like this, but it ends up sounding like this, it's called distortion or clipping. So the sound that you intend it to be is not correct. So cool track, cool idea. Keep working on that, and could be a really cool track to play in like nightclubs and things like that. All right, Auto Electronica Demo 1, February.wav, intro concept, Subluxa. Let's have a listen. Don't click that link, whoever posted that. Spammeroo. What's up, Chris? Bro, your demo was deleted. Like your Dropbox link was deleted. So if you have something else, man, send it through, because we're up to the second last demo for this evening. Subluxer, so far so good, my friend. I am detecting some notes are not correct on the piano roll, but it doesn't matter. Let's keep going and see how we're sounding. Good, good. Yeah, Subluxer. So I like the idea. I think the sound design is very sort of let's say like it's basic, right? And that's perfectly fine because it's here, it's demo number 1. So I hope that you will evolve the sound. You might add new layers, new sounds, new concepts. Overall the track works, but I think it's lacking something memorable. So normally something memorable is a melody. Okay, you have this sort of thing that's happening like dun 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 dun, doing its thing, but it's not very memorable for the track. So maybe try some like freestyling where you just sort of play the track and you, if you have a keyboard, just like jam on the keyboard. Maybe something cool comes out of that. If not, try and think of a cool melody to add to your track. And how I create melodies, right? I'll create my chords and my bass line first, and then for a top melody, I will create 5 empty vocal tracks or audio tracks. Then what I will do, I will hit record on one of the vocal tracks, and as I'm listening to the track in my earphones, I'm actually whistling into the microphone. Something like that, right? And then I will sort of hit stop. Then what I will do is that track that I just recorded, I will then mute that. So I will turn that off, and then I'll record again in track number 2. And I do that 5 times, and usually on the 5th time, I have a really cool melody that fits the track. So that's a cool technique I use to create melodies. I hope that helps you, because this track is good, but it needs something memorable added to it. So I think that memorable thing would be an additional melody on top. Okay, so I hope that helps you, my friend, and I hope that motivates you for either evolving this track or moving forward on another track. And yeah, let's see how it goes. All right, Raven X, let's have a listen. Ambient trap type beat, but short. Okay, let's have a listen. I will also give you a follow back. Nice, man. Really good, actually. Everything's in key. Everything has a good melody. You also have that sort of counter melody that happened here. Nice. I like that. I feel like that is too short, so I'm going to pick something. Okay, this is from 7 days ago. Let's have a listen, and I'll give you some feedback on this. I love the womp 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 womp. I love that. The lead sound is it's from Calvin Harris. Dun, 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 dun. Does this mean that I'm not alone? Wow. Bam 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 bam. Similar sound design. Coming up in the spot, yeah. Hot man. Stop, band. This would sound really good with a rap on the top, like 21 Pilots style rap or something like that. Yeah, nice, man. You have a really good a good skill for creating good melody. So all your chords sound really nice with the melodies you have. Your melodies and your chords, where they're positioned on the piano roll, is good because they're not sitting on the beat all the time. There's some good variation, and it keeps the listener interested, I guess you would say. So really nice, man. Good sound. Yeah, man, and I see you're new to the community, so welcome. If you're tuned in, so I can tell you're tuned in on YouTube. So below the video, there's a button that says socials. If you click on that, it goes to the link tree. I highly recommend, if you're not a member already, go join my Discord community, my friend. And there we sort of help each other out. We give each other feedback. We promote each other's social medias and things like that. So for all means, join our community, man. Good to hear your music. Sounded really good. Christopher, welcome back, brother. You were like third in line or something, dude, and then your track wasn't there. I was gutted. All right, like this demo too. Let's have a listen. Christopher Tapia. Oh, yeah. So far, so good, bro. One time. So far, so good, bro. One time. 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 One time.
One time like this, make it pop like
this.
one time. One time
Like this.
one time. One time like this. One time like
I feel like here in the intro, Chris, right? You've already given the listeners everything from the drop, if that makes sense, except for the vocal. So you either need to pull out some elements here, which I don't recommend. I recommend adding an additional element when that sort of drop happens, so that there's something else for the listeners to be like, oh, okay. You know, just like the traditional comment of like add more layers, but you just need something. If it's just a small percussive element like a cowbell or a wood block that's just going, just gives some variation for the listener from the introduction.
one time.
Like this.
One time. One time like this. One time like this. Make it pop like this. Make it knock like this. Make it drop like.
See, here we go. Something new is coming out.
Like this. Make it knock like this. Make it drop like this.
Yeah, man.
One
Okay, well,
time.
do you know what, man? It's probably okay how this is, because this creates a sort of progression through the track. So the first drop is super like chill and sort of minimal, let's say. This drop is more aggressive, and despite the lead sounding a bit thin, it does have that aggression there somewhere. I would let more bass frequencies come through in that sort of saw lead that you have there.
One time.
Like this.
I'll definitely make this more growl, more bass.
One time.
One time like this. Pan that. One time like this. Something like that. I know it's just an idea, but just throwing it back at you.
One time like this. Make it pop like this. Make it knock like this. Make it drop like.
One time like this. Make it pop
Nice,
like
man.
this. Make it knock like this. Make it drop.
Let me know if you used Little Altar Boy for this or something, because the pitch of the vocal sounds really nice and clean. I want to know how you did it.
Like
One time, 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 one time like this. Make it pop like.
this.
Oh, I missed the melons. No.
One time.
Vocal bender. Nice, man.
One time.
Like this.
One time.
Always on sale.
One time like this. One time like this. Make it pop like this. Make it knock like this. Make it drop like.
One time like this. Make it pop like this. Make it knock like this. Make it drop like this.
One time. One time.
Like this.
Yeah, man, I dig it. It's good. It has potential.
This.
Just bro, just evolve the track a bit more. The bum 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 bum, that lead sounds a little thin, like I said, so just thicken that out a bit. And I guess just pay some attention to the elements that have some high end in there and make it come through more. Like the hi-hats and everything sound very sort of flat, like they sound very ch rather than tit, if that makes sense. Bro, sick track. It's a good like tech house sort of banger, so I would stick with that one. I would definitely work on that a bit more. I like it. Sounds good. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we listened to 15 tracks. So I'm going to use my smartphone to pick a winner. Hey Siri, can you pick a random number between 1 and 15, please?
A random number between 1 and 15 is 7.
7. Boom. Our artist of the week, Mr. Wilson Serrano. Wilson Serrano, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, he had some big news. Oh geez, what was it, Wilson? 1 or 2 days ago, 1 or 2 weeks ago, sorry. So Wilson has a very good affiliation with Fresh Breath Records. That's actually how Wilson and I met. So I was released on Fresh Breath Records, and I think he was as well a short time after. And yeah, basically Fresh Breath Records loved his submissions. They always would sort of release his tracks because they're always such high quality. And basically Fresh Breath Records offered him to open an imprint label under Fresh Breath Records, directly managed by Wilson. And yeah, he politely accepted, and that record label is called Incoming Sounds. So I'm going to post that in the chat. So please, guys and girls, go and give that label a follow, show them some love. And yeah, excited for Wilson and his future work there. Speaking of future work, guys, a lot of you tonight, your tracks, I would say, were good, but they weren't at sort of radio quality in terms of volume and mastering. Chat to us at Lifted. We offer a mix mastering service, so liftedglobal.com/mastering, and we can do that for you. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, so that's it, guys and girls. That's it for another week. I'm leaving you with one final comment, and that is go and pre-save my new collab out soon on Lifted Global. Give it a pre-save. The stream's ended, so I give you permission now to click away. All that will happen now will be the outro. Go smash that pre-save, and yeah, should land in your playlist quite soon. Thanks, guys. I'm out of here. Hope you had a good evening. Ciao, ciao.